Hey, what's happening, folks? Textboard91 here, and it is week number 9. We have new Team of the Week items and packs, and they are as listed: a Chris Johnson, Bobby Wagner, Sean Smith, Orlando Scandrick, Kendall Langford, Pierre Garcon, Aaron Dobson, along with Chris Ivory. Our direct TV offensive star of the week is Nick Foles, and we have a fantasy hero and a beast, Cameron Wake. So let's take a trip to the auction block and check out these cards. Here is Alonzo Scandrick, 86 overall cornerback, and this guy is just basically speed right now. 95 speed, 94 agility, and pretty nice man, but everything else is pretty mediocre. But he's going for relatively cheap right now. He's at 6,500 coins. Not a bad price for a nice, I want to say nickel cornerback. If you guys play the game online, you notice that everybody's seen to throw those nickel wide receivers, such as Antonio Brown or T.Y. Hilton. So it'd be nice to have a guy with good speed to match up with them. And Scandrick might have that, because everything else on this card is pretty bad. His catching like a 61, which is terrible. He's not gonna be catching anything out there. It seems like he got brick for hands, and his hit pass like a 67. So not gonna be too amazing out there in the field, but that speed will be nice. Maybe try him as return man, or just put him out there guarding those short, fast receivers. He might do good. But as of now, I'm gonna go ahead and stay away from it. I have enough cornerbacks as it is. If it gets down to 3,000 coins, I'll pick him up. But right now, I'm not paying that. Right here, we're looking at Kendall Langford. I believe this is our first fantasy defensive tackle in this game. Nice to see that EA is changing their ways and not giving the offensive linemen and defensive tackles to the Football Outsider people. So I do like this card for its price too, 5,000 coins. The card really looks really great. Just because I'm going based off value, I'm gonna go ahead and compare him to Geno Atkins, and you'll see the stats aren't that mind blowing for Geno Atkins. Right now, he's a 92 versus 87. Right now, Atkins is around 17K, while Langford's at 5.5. And pretty much, if you wanted some good value for your coin, Langford might be the guy for you. He has better awareness. He has pretty much a worse power move, but it doesn't. It's not that big of a difference. It's only a 5 rating difference. Speed's pretty much the same. Tackling, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a push, just because tackling this game's kind of broken anyway. The only thing that you would argue in saying Langford's not that good would be his block shed and his pursuit. So those might be deal breakers, but it looks like these two cards will look very, very similar. Plus, Langford's a lot taller at 6'6", so I might try them out for you guys. You guys know how I try out these cheap players for you, so expect some gameplay with Langford sometime down the line. But as of now, if he gets cheaper, I'm just telling you guys, pick him up. He would be a good defensive tackle for anybody's team. Here is the fantasy Aaron Dobson. This card is getting so cheap. I checked earlier on its price. I bought it for 6,000 coins, sold it for 10. Now it's at 3,000. So whoever bought that card for me, I appreciate you, brother. And this card is pretty. It's so funny because they're trolling us. Again, this guy 92 catch. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume not everybody here watches the Patriots play, because a lot of people hate watching greatness on the field, hence why everybody hates LeBron. But in this case, if you guys don't watch the Patriots play, this guy should not have a 92 catch. Like, honestly speaking, in college he was really, really great. They say that he never dropped a pass when he played at Marshall. He caught every single pass thrown to him, never dropped anything. But when he got to the Patriots, every time Tom Brady throws in the ball, he drops it. And he had a big game, so 5 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. But they kind of knee-jerked by giving this guy 92 catching. But it's good for you guys. You guys see his price? Only at 3,000 coins. It is only going to get cheaper when they drop these crazy promo on Thursday. So if you guys want a nice, I want to say number one receiver, number two, just because of the height, 6'2", pretty good speed, good catching, good spec catch. The only thing I like about this card is his catching in traffic, just because I have the Demaryius Thomas, and I really cannot use that card no more on my team, just because the catching in traffic so low. This card is not reliable. So the guy may have good catching and good spec catch, but I would not trust this guy going across the middle of the field. So be wary of that. But for its price, I can't be really too negative about it. And if it gets cheap around 2,000 coins, I say pick it up. Anybody would love to have this card on their team, because it will help to win games. Here is another wide receiver from the Washington Races, Pierre Garcon, 80 overall wide receiver, and he has pretty similar stats to the fantasy and the elite T.Y. Hilton. I don't like this card's catching in traffic, 81 overall. So this card's another one of those wide receivers that are not going to be reliable going across the middle of the field, but he's going to be really quick and might not get tackled, it seems like, in the open field with a 95 speed. Right now he's going for 4,000 coins, the same price as fantasy T.Y. Hilton was when he was in pack. So pretty much, if you guys want another slot receiver who's just a little bit taller, Pierre Garcon might be the guy for you. But you have to keep in mind that T.Y. Hilton also returns punts and returns kicks, so that would give the advantage to T.Y. Hilton, and you'd be better off spending the 6,000 coins on him than spending the 4,000 on Pierre Garcon, because he's more of a threat in the return game and also in the receiving game. So my edge is the T.Y. Hilton. and mostly because I don't really support that Washington name, so that's why I refer to them as the Washington Racists. So Pierre Garcon, you'll never be on my team, but Alfred Morris will be because I'm kind of a hypocrite. I forgot all about that. Let's go to the next card. Here's another cornerback in Sean Smith, and it's kind of funny to see this guy have a card because he was one mistake away from probably being a laughing stock in Kansas City. Because if you guys watched that Buffalo game, it's just ridiculous. Jeff Toole made a terrible read, threw the ball right to Sean Smith's hands. He had Stevie Johnson opening the back of the end zone, just missed him, I guess. He did not see him. He wasn't paying attention. He's a rookie, blah, 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 blah. All these excuses. But Sean Smith caught the interception, ran 101 yards back the other way. And if he would have made, if Jeff Toole would have got that ball to Stevie Johnson, there's no doubt in my mind the Buffalo Bills would have won that game because that Chiefs offense, you Chiefs fans, you enjoy that. Enjoy your bubble screens and your quick slants and your check downs. Enjoy that. It's not going to last that long. But here's Sean Smith, and I like to see this guy succeed just because it's funny. He was in Miami, and the fans did not like him because he was known for having nubs for hands, and they did not like that because he couldn't catch anything. So it's nice to see this guy succeed with the Chiefs. That defense is really, really good. The offense is really, really bad. Looking at this card, 92 speed, 92 man, and pretty good press. That's actually a really good 88 press and pretty consistent speed with man. I like this card. 10,000 coins, not a bad investment. I picked up, I want to say, Captain Merlin for 14,000, and that's because he's a Panther, and I'm not sure who's better, and that cornerback glitch is still here. So let's go to the trade block. Luckily for us, somebody has a couple in the trade block. So let's go ahead and check this card out compared to what we have already on our team. And I might try them out just because I'm always looking for cornerbacks. I try to find the best ones on my team. I don't like using the same guys because after a while, I like to try new players and see how they perform so you guys can get a good video out of it. And also, you guys can find out who might be a good pickup. Right here, Cap Merlin, same speed, doesn't have the press, but that's cool with me. I don't really press my cornerbacks as it is. He has a better play rec. He has a better awareness, which might be huge when it comes to those out routes and those corner routes. So Merlin is playing big for me, but he's not as tall though. Sean Smith is 6'3". Yeah, I gotta get this guy. I gotta get that guy. He's 6'3". I did not know that. That is great. I'm picking this guy up, and you guys should too. 6'3" cornerback with 92 speed, 92 man, and a good press. That is a physical cornerback, and I want this guy on my team. So I'm definitely gonna get him now. I did not notice that height at first, and now that I do, he's a must get. So hopefully his price gets down cheaper. I'm gonna go ahead and get some gameplay with him for you guys, and I'll tell you guys how he plays. Here might be the most underrated card out of this bundle. A lot of people were disappointed with this week's fantasy cards. I'm not personally. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. None of them going through and looking at these cards more in depth. But here is Chris Ivory. And the funny thing about this card, it pretty much is the exact same card as Alfred Morris. And right now the price is about the same price as one Alfred Morris. If you guys want a Alfred Morris combined into one, Chris Ivory is the guy. You know what? I'll go ahead and compare the card for you. I'm going to compare the two so you guys can see that I'm not speaking no BS here. Look at the card compare. Like, this is a pretty much an Alfred Morris, but without doing a collection. Right now, I got the collection done for 15,000 coins, a good price. I pulled both these cards for free, so I'm just combining what they're going for at the time. And that's pretty much the same damn card. Like, the height, the speed, the acceleration, the carrying, the trucking, it's the same damn cards. If you guys want a good halfback that is not going to fumble for the most part in this game, Chris Ivory might be the guy for you. And if you just want Alfred Morris, just have Alfred Morris. You can be spending a lot more to get that collection done. So keep that in mind. I'm going to definitely get Chris Ivory, but I really don't need him just because I have Alfred Morris. Here is the fantasy Chris Johnson. It's kind of funny. This card might be the second most popular card in Madden this week behind the Cameron Wake, and it's so really ridiculous just because this card is on its insignificant stat boosting nonsense. Look at this card stats: 98 speed, pretty nice, 89 carrying. That's pretty good. 95 looseness. This card stats are really nice, but I'm going to go ahead and compare him to its BCA counterpart, and let's see how really nice they are. Yeah, nothing too major. Like, only thing went up by a lot was his carrying by 2. I checked out his depth chart stats. Jumping went up by 2, so catching went up by 1. So this card isn't the best card to have, and considering it's going for 80,000 coins, there's a lot of better options out there for running back you guys can get. And the BCA Chris Johnson is a perfect example. If you want a good, speedy halfback, why spend 80,000 coins? Spend 20,000 coins on a BCA Chris Johnson who doesn't have the insignificant stat boost compared to its fantasy. So if you guys really want Chris Johnson, I would advise anybody to go ahead and buy the BCA card and use him in games, and do not feed into the epidemic known as insignificant stat boosting. Here is Bobby Wagner. I'm going to go ahead and sell my Levante David and put Bobby Wagner in my right outside linebacker spot just because I like this guy's stats: 90 speed, 95 tackle, good play rate, good pursuit. But that is not the only thing good about this card. He also has a 90 hit power. You know how fan bleeping task that is? A 90 hit power with a 95 tackle. That is just fumbles, fumbles, fumbles. This guy is going to be a fumble causing machine out there in the field. I definitely had to get him for that reason. Levante David is not a scrub, but Bobby Wagner might be a better fit for him looking for on my team right now. So I'm going to try him out at that spot. If he's not the best there, I'll go ahead and put him at middle linebacker and bench Kuechly, but that's not going to be for so long. So hoping Bobby Wagner be a good fit. He also has an 80 zone, so a pretty good zone coverage. Man coverage is a 68, not the best. The catching is 73, which is pretty much on par with Luke Kuechly. It's better than some cornerbacks, so keep that in mind. He may not drop more than he catches, but 73 is still pretty bad, so he's going to be dropping an interception out there, and maybe I might cost you a couple of games here and there, but he'll make up for it in a fumble or two each and every single game. I want to go ahead and guarantee that, even though I have no proof. But I'm going to compare this card to its gold counterpart from an 82 to a 90, and you'll see some big increases. Now, this is one of the cards that is not on that insignificant stat boosting nonsense like the Chris Johnson was, but there are some stats here that probably could have been a little higher. The biggest jump from this card was its play rate being from an 83 to a 92, which is nice. His card got smarter. The awareness went up by 4, along with his tackle and his block shit went up by 9. So the guy got some major boosts in stats. So Bobby Wagner is a pretty good card. His gold card is not so bad himself. If you guys looking for a good cheap linebacker, buy his gold one. But if you guys happen to have the coin for his fantasy one, wait till this Thursday when the card comes out. These new cards come out. It's going to be very, very crazy. Try to pick it up for cheap then. If not, go ahead and wait a little bit longer. I'm going to probably pick him for 30,000 coins, or I might try to trade Levante David for him. So we'll see what happens this past weekend. But Bobby Wagner is a beast. He's pretty much Ray Lewis reincarnated. Is that blasphemous for me to say? So Nick Foles just had to have 7 touchdowns thrown against the Raiders defense and get himself a fantasy card. I'm kind of mad about it just because I don't want a Nick Foles. I don't think anybody wants Nick Foles other than Eagle fans and just fans who are just being really, really weird. Like, if you want to submit for the quarterback, there are plenty in this game so far with good throwing stats. Why you want a Nick Foles is beyond my knowledge I can comprehend. This card has some pretty good stats though. I'm not going to try to be negative about it. 94 throw power, pretty nice. 91 throw accuracy, really good. Throw deep is better than Cam Newton's by 6, so that's a pretty big deal. But for 45,000 coins, like really, people, you're going to buy a submit-footed quarterback for 45,000 coins. Like, honestly, no, I'm not even going to be that negative. Why would you buy that? Here's the Aaron Rodgers, 95 throw power, 85 throw deep, 90 throw accuracy. Rodgers right now is still like 20,000 coins to get, and he has good speed coupled with good throw accuracy and good throw power. I'd go with him. Of course, Cam Newton is a lot more coin, but throw accuracy is there as well. But if you guys want a good, cheap option at the quarterback who's also cement-footed, go buy yourself a fantasy Matthew Stafford from last week. He's at 8,000 coins. He has a 90 throw accuracy, an 87 throw deep, and also has a 96 throw power, so that'll be a good option as well. He's also cement-footed, so you guys get that fix if you want. But Nick Foles, I'm sorry, bruh. Big props to tie in the NFL record, but I don't know why you got a card this week. Like, I don't know why you got a card this week. And I'm being blasphemous by saying that, but it is what it is. Nick Foles, I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Here is the fantasy Cameron Wake compared to his other counterparts. You got the Elite, you got the BCA, and you got the Fantasy Hero. And if you guys pull these collectibles, I strongly urge you guys to go ahead and sell them just because it does not make any sense for anybody. And I mean this, it doesn't make any sense for anybody to be doing this collection at this moment. Each collectible is going for 40,000 coins. And you guys can see the stats from the Elite to the BCA to the Fantasy. The BCA right now is at 40,000 coins. And his stats are very, very similar. He even has a better power move, which is really funny, and a better block shit. That's kind of funny considering that card should be worse than the Fantasy one, but it is what it is. Right now, you can basically pull a collectible, sell it for 40,000 coins, and buy the BCA Cameron Wake instead of doing a collection, which will cost you 120 to complete. So that is my opinion when it comes to it. The only reason you should do this Fantasy Cameron Wake collection is because of the picture. This is probably the most dope picture out of all the cards in this game. He is flexing. He has Dolphins logo in the background. It just looks really, really dope. But you should not do this collection unless you just are a big Dolphin fan. But even then, go ahead and spend your money wisely. Sell all the collectibles. Buy the BCA one and have some fun with that one. And about 3 weeks from now, if you don't like how it plays, you can always sell it. And that is not an option with the Fantasy Hero Cameron Wake. So keep that in mind. But that picture is dope though. Like if I could get the collection just for that picture, I would do it. But 120,000 coins, a lot of stuff you can buy with that. And that is the video, folks. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the series, be sure to drop a like on it. Also, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. I upload pretty much every single day, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the constant uploads. I'm the Texas boy. I'm out to Mother Bleeper. Peace. Follow me on Twitter.